Hey, thanks for joining me because it's the end of 2023 and in this video I'm going to take a look back over the last 12 months and pick out 5 of my favourite adventures with the camera. Some of these 5 have been video and photography shoots for work, but there's also been some more personal trips in there as well. So let's get cracking. First up is an adventure from back in February when I headed over to Iceland and got to spend a good few days exploring this amazing island. From an equipment point of view, this was my first big trip with OM system kit and I really enjoyed putting the OM1 through its paces. I'd drawn up a location itinerary beforehand, so I was able to cram in a fair amount of travel, but along with the waterfalls and black volcanic beaches, I really loved exploring the capital Reykjavik too. I definitely want to revisit Iceland in 2024, but I think I might wait until the summer to get a different take on the locations. Instead of renting a car, I may even rent a camper van so I can explore the north of Iceland too. Next up is a video shoot from just a few weeks ago actually, and this was a job filming for a YouTube channel I work for called The Late Break Show. After weeks of horrendous weather, the day of the shoot coincided with some of the most beautiful winter light. We had all day to mess around with a cool 4x4, wading the vehicle through lakes, bumping up and down muddy hills and through forests. And do you know what piece of kit proved to be the hero that day? Well, it was actually the DJI Pocket 3, an amazing tool that is perfect for on-the-fly videoing when you can't work with a full-on gimbal. I shot in the 10-bit D-Log mode and was really impressed with the colours and tolerance to editing. The next adventure to make the list was my trip to Denmark in September. This was a solo trip and there is really nothing like picking up the rental car from the airport and being able to point it in any direction and just drive. This trip was half landscapes and half city based, where I explored the beautiful city of Aarhus, an absolute gem that I would highly recommend to photographers. It was also a trip of two halves when it came to the weather, with lots of rain but also some stunning sunshine as well. I have to say, Aarhus was where I also captured my favourite clip of the year. I wanted to shoot the Infinity Bridge, which is on the beachfront, for so long, and I was very happy with the results. Jumping back to cars, the next adventure took me all the way to Barcelona for the launch of the Volvo EX30. This was another shoot for the Late Break Show and we had just a few hours to film a 30-minute review of the car. It sounds simple, but that's not really a lot of time to capture all the shots that we need, but we got the job done in the end. You know, it was a real treat to be flown in and put up in an amazing hotel right in the centre of Barcelona. Again, the weather wasn't great for this trip, so we ended up filming some extra content on the way back to the airport the next morning. Last up was a trip with my family to the Italian island of Sicily. Now this was back in May and I was expecting it to be lovely and sunny and warm. In fact, all the weather reports leading up to this week confirmed it. However, when I arrived, I was greeted by torrential rain for pretty much the whole trip. We were doing a lot of family stuff, so photography wasn't my biggest priority, but in these situations, what I like to do is set myself a challenge, and this time round, the challenge was to head into Catania and indulge in some street photography using the OM5, and I actually spent a lot of time using the 40-150 f4 lens, a fantastic optic which delivers an equivalent 80 to 300mm focal length, yet is just a tiny lens. So, that's my top 5 adventures of 2023. Honourable mentions include my recent trip to photograph seals in Norfolk with my buddy Kingsley, and an adventure earlier in the year back up to my home county of Northumberland, where I was quite spoiled with beautiful light and an abundance of landscape locations to visit. But now it's time to look ahead to 2024 because I want to get out and visit even more places. So what's on the cards? Well, as I already mentioned, a return visit to Iceland is very possible, but so too is a return to the Faroe Islands where I visited in 2017. I also want to tick Sweden off my Nordic photo list as it's a country I've not previously visited. I'd also be really interested to hear in the comments where you would recommend for a photo or video adventure. Where should I take some new kit to go and test? Anyway, thanks for watching, have a great 2024 and please remember to like and subscribe. See you next time.